Welcome back to Good Day, where we love local and we celebrate folks' accomplishments like getting a book published and at the same time finding healing and personal empowerment. Author of A Wandering Path, Anna Isabel Garrison joins us this morning. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you wrote a book.
I did.
Yes, and this is it a memoir or is it more of a story?
It is a memoir. Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about how your life experiences led you here.
Yeah, so the book really started in my early 20s, and I was in a place in my life where I think from societal standards, I had everything sort of figured out. I had just graduated from the University of Toledo. I had my bachelor's degree. I was working a successful management job at a local company. I was dating my wonderful now husband. We had just bought a house, so things were going really well. And at the same time, though, I was feeling sort of off, like something in my life was missing or wasn't quite right, and I didn't know why. Especially, again, because I kind of was thinking, okay, I have everything lined up. It looks perfect from the outside.
On paper,
yes,
know?
On paper, exactly, it looked perfect. And so a close family member of mine recommended that I get away for a while. So I booked a 3-day silent retreat at a place in Fremont called Our Lady of the Pines. They have 2 little log cabins in the woods. And I sat in that cabin for 3 days without a cell phone, without Wi-Fi or a computer, and for the first time it kind of made me realize that, I think I was moving too fast, and I was, trying to be perfect in all these areas of my life, and it sort of set me off on this path to heal and figure out why that was happening.
And so you experienced some trauma, though, early on in your life, right?
I did. Yes, so I dealt with some pretty extreme mental illness from a parent in my family growing up, and that definitely had an impact on me. And I think for anyone who has experienced trauma or hardship, which I know we all have in different ways, I think that really does shape how we behave and how we see ourselves as adults. And so I think during that retreat at the cabin in the woods, it made me slow down enough to recognize that I was using various things in my life to sort of cover up the hard emotions that maybe I hadn't taken care of. I was working 60 hours a week. I was always busy, always trying to, again, look the best, be the best. And I think that has a purpose for all of us. But when I sort of stripped that away, I kind of realized, there's got to be more to life than this.
And when you experience something traumatic in your life, it's not something that you can just ignore and just lock away, as you found it came back, later, years later, maybe manifesting in a different way.
Right.
And what kind of advice would you have to people, go to the cabin in the woods maybe, right? What kind of advice would you have to people who maybe did experience a traumatic situation and they just don't know exactly how to handle that?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And for me, one of the big outcomes of that silent retreat was going to therapy. And there are so many great resources locally. I went to a local therapist, but again, there are online resources, if that's something you prefer, but it really helped me to work through some of that. And so actually the book and the idea for the book kind of started through my creative writing and journaling throughout my time in therapy, which took about 1.5 years. And so every day when I'd be writing, I was thinking, some of these journal entries I have really have a theme, and I think they could be helpful to others. And so that's kind of where the idea came from.
So if you pick up a copy, you may benefit.
Yes.
And what do you hope, when people read your memoir, what do you hope they walk away with?
Yeah, I hope that for those who read my memoir, they see that there is hope for healing and for living a life that's better and more fulfilling than where you are now. I think for me, the thing that was the hardest is that, I came from a good family. I had all of my needs met growing up. I had an outfit that I wanted. I had a car, things that you think of as sort of these good, important things. And I think it's also important to realize that even if you have all your physical needs met, sometimes that doesn't mean that you have your emotional needs met. And I think it's just validating everyone's individual story in the fact that we all deal with hardship, and there are ways to make your life better.
And where can people get a copy of this if they'd like to pick it up?
Yeah, so the book is available on Amazon right now for pre-order.
Okay.
And it'll be out officially on April 24th.
Okay.
You can also visit my website. It's annaisabelgarrison.com, where I have a pre-order form. If you'd like to order a hard copy that's signed, I can mail it to you. It's also available at a few local indie bookstores, namely Finch and Fern in downtown Sylvania.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope you see much success here. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.